About a month or so ago, I made kind of a sneak peek video showing you guys this new turbo bagger setup from Dustopper. And there's a ton of interest in it and you guys had all sorts of questions. So as promised, this is a follow-up video. We're gonna really dive deep, answer all your questions, run some tests and comparisons, but most importantly to let you guys know that it is now available for purchase. A ton of you wanted it after that first video, but it wasn't quite ready yet, but it is now. So the link will be down below in this video description if you want to check that out. So I'm going to start and unbox a complete new unit here because I've basically just been using like a test unit to provide feedback. So they provided me with a complete system here, exactly how you'll receive it. In box one, we have a 7-foot hose, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. We have the bucket, the suction hose already attached. Clips to attach it to the extractors are already attached for you. The short hose to connect to the extractor. And they do provide you with a whole bunch of the clear plastic bags. I believe there's 20 of them in here. And then the 2 sweeping elbows, they're not the hard 90, nice sweep, so that doesn't restrict airflow as much. And then we have the fine Turbo 1 dust extractor. They just repurposed the original packaging, no reason not to. But Dustopper has already opened this and made all the modifications to the extractor for you, so it's all ready to go right out of the box. We have the original fine hose that comes with the extractor. Yeah, attachment storage, the casters. All right, I just quickly popped the casters on the bottom, put the attachment storage on the back. As you can see, they already have the hole drilled for the suction tube on the back there. They did move it from the front to the back versus compared to my test model that I have. And then you have the plate up top for your bucket to sit in, as well as the latches to attach the bucket to the extractor. One very common comment on that initial video is that a lot of you actually preferred my original design here, which I'm flattered. But your reasoning is the attachment storage here on the top. And that's because the attachments are supposed to go down here on the legs, but obviously we're using that for the PVC to build our separator cart here. So I put the holes there on the top to have the attachments here. But bouncing back over to the new unit, and I must not have done a good job showing this in the initial video because you were worried about not having the attachment storage, but it's right here on the back of the extractor. That's the benefit of how this new system is set up. We're not taking away any of that to attach the bucket to the vacuum. It's all right here on the back. You have your cord wrap here on the back as well. So we're not taking away any of that. It's all built right into the extractor. And this is a difference from the original one that I have. This base plate isn't screwed to the vacuum at all because it doesn't need to be with these clips. It holds it very secure. It's not going to fall off or anything. And the reason for that is so you can take this off, completely off, because this is the only thing we are covering on this extractor is this handle here. So if you wanted to have access to that, and what you could even do is go ahead and screw this bucket to the plate so this all comes off as one unit as well. But as for now, I'm just going to leave it separate. And then we can hook up the suction tube here on the back. And then from there, we can take our Dustopper Pro, get that added, the grounding cable. You can plug it directly into the vacuum, or like I showed in the last video, go ahead and get one of these adapters so you can still plug a tool in if you want to. And then we'll add the sweeping elbows. Last but not least, we can add a pickup hose, and that's it. Complete setup, literally probably less than a minute. Everything's done for you, you just gotta snap it together. The beauty in that is just how simple that is, and now you have an option to get a complete system all in one, all ready to go for you. I severely dropped the ball when it came to this cart. So many people wanted me just to sell this complete setup, and making this was literally my second YouTube video. I was not prepared at all to undertake anything like that. So I did drop the ball there, but now we have an option with an even better extractor, a whole setup for you, of course, with the bagger. Like I mentioned, the setup's gonna come with 20 of the plastic bags. So, and if and when you need more, Dustopper's gonna sell those directly, super cheap. And this is gonna be a benefit for a lot of you. This is gonna be nice, so you can just throw these bags full of dust away. Or if you want to reuse the bags, just empty the dust out and reuse the bag, you can always do that as well. But next, the suction tube. A lot of you had questions on what that is doing. What that's doing is pulling the plastic bag tight to the bucket and keeping it from just getting sucked up into the extractor. So I'll show you a before picture here of what the bag looks like, and then I'll go ahead and turn it on and show you it sucked tight to the bucket. As you can see, it's sucked nice and tight to the bucket there. And one more quick note on the bucket while I'm here is this is a much thicker bucket than like the Home Depot one I used in my original setup. So this bucket isn't going to cave in on you. Now talking about the hoses, like I mentioned at the beginning, it does come with the original fine hose that comes with the extractor. And then Dustopper is providing a 2.5 inch 7-foot hose as well. And it's really awesome, mainly for you just to be able to pick and choose which one you want to use. I really like this one. It is longer, but it's got the fitting that connects to most of my tools, my orbital sanders, my track saw. It's got the adjustable airflow on here. And most dust extractors come with a hose this style. But a benefit of the larger 2.5 inch hose, it's gonna have higher CFM, it's gonna restrict airflow less, and just actually perform better. So, and for larger pickups, bulk pickup, this is gonna work a lot better than that. So it's great that you have the option to choose between the two. One thing to note on the skinnier fine hose is that there is this little nub here on the fitting, and you can jam it in here and it works, but there's a potential for air leakage around there. And Dustopper's not gonna do this. This is gonna be up to you to do if you want. But if you just wanna file that off or just take a utility knife and cut that off, it's gonna slide right in there and perform a lot better, not have any air leakage. Let's go ahead and pick up a pile of dust here, and then I'll show you inside the extractor, because that is something I failed to do on the last time. As you can see, most of it should be inside the bucket. Let's go ahead and open up the extractor though. There's a bag inside here. Literally nothing in it though. Obviously that was a brand new extractor and just a small pile of dust. So what I want to do is go ahead and open up this one that I've been using for, I think, 3 months now at least. Completely clean there. And I've been using this a ton, trying to really test it out. A little bit of fine dust just fell off that fitting there, but a little bit around the fitting. There's nothing in here but a little bit of super fine dust. I tried to stick my camera in the hole to show you, but I mean, it's flat, I don't want to cut it open and be wasteful, so you'll just have to trust me. But like I said, I've been using this a ton, testing it out. And that's why, paired with the Dustopper and then going ahead and still having a bag in there to catch any of the fine stuff that does make it past that filter is going to stay clean forever. And, this bag is going to last forever as well. So that's the benefit. of the Dustopper, keeping your bag clean and your filter clean, maintaining that suction power. That's really impressive for as much as I've ran through this. Now let's go ahead and run some tests and comparisons to put some actual numbers towards things instead of just me talking about it. But one thing a lot of you noticed, in volume is hard to translate through the video, but a lot of you noticed how quiet the new setup is. So I got a decibel meter here. Let's go ahead and compare just a regular vacuum to the new setup. It says max of 94.9, so about 95, but it was averaging about 92, 93. And now for the new setup. Okay, the max was 83 and it was kind of averaging right at 82, 83. And in terms of how decimal ratings works, that's actually an insane difference between the two. Okay, I have a Festool extractor and their cyclone here, so let's go ahead and do that as well. Max of 87.5, and it's usually right around 86. Every time you show a new tool on the internet, everyone always wants it compared to Festool. So I went ahead and borrowed their cyclone, so I'll be able to do that here in this video. You know, I'm just a dude in a wood shop, but I got this Windspeed anemometer. I'll be able to hook to the end of the hose and just compare the two units. But starting with price, and to my wife, if you're watching this, this isn't what I paid back when I bought it. They have yearly price increases, but the CT36 is $969, and then their cyclone is $475. So about $1,500 for the setup. And then the new Dustopper Turbo Bagger at $800, about half of that. Now that is for the CT36. I would say the CT26 is more comparable in size, which that's $900, so $69 less for the CT26. I did put a brand new filter in the Festool just to try to be as fair as possible. All I'm going to do is pull this hose as straight as I can and put this right on. I have it set at feet per minute. You know, the units don't really matter. We're just looking for the difference between the two, the higher number. It was at 1900 for a while, then it kind of went down. I'm just going to say 1900. I'm going to swap over and use the same hose for both of them because, like I mentioned earlier, that the hose does play a difference. So make sure that's the same. Okay, I saw 2300 and I saw 2100, and so we'll say 2200. I was thinking as long as this one is close, you know, considering the price, and this one's got a much smaller footprint, which is nice. It's grounded. I was thinking as long as it's close, it'd still be good, but it actually ended up being higher. Really, I think the last thing I want to talk about, because there was a little bit of confusion in my last video, you know, Dustopper doesn't make this extractor. They're not a vacuum company, they're a dust separation company, but they chose to use this fine extractor for several reasons. It's a great high quality company. You know, Fine has invented several tools that you guys use every day. But in terms of just the extractor, you know, it's got the flat top, works great with the bucket, you can ground it. It's got the small collection base because really you don't need a big one because it all goes in the bucket. So super compact and nimble, but you know, as you can see, it performs really well. It's really quiet. So really it was just a great extractor for Dustopper to pick and choose and offer this whole setup to you guys. So if you want to check it out more, like I said, link will be down below in the video description. This isn't a sponsored video by any means, but that is an affiliate link, so I will get a small kickback on that, which of course I always appreciate to help make these videos. Until next time, take care.